Me. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 48 of Black Ops 3 Mod Tools. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to export models using the Siege program. I've been away for a while, but it's time to hit it full blown. All right, so first things first, you can get the Siege program from Make Sense's webpage. Now, if you go over to his channel, there's going to be a link in the video description. It's going to direct you right to it. you know, uh, as soon as you go to his page, you're going to see a program that looks just like this. It's going to be called C3ig, which stands for Siege. Now, it's a really cool program which converts, exports images, and creates GDTs. So let's say if you export some models using Rafe, and you know how you gotta convert each one into a bin file. You have to set the materials in ape. Basically, what Siege does is it does all the hard work, and you could get it done in like less than a minute. It's super cool. All right, so first things first, let's open up a game. Of course, there's gonna be a link in the video description where you can get to the page to download Rafe. Once you already have Rafe, extract, put it in a folder, have it on your desktop so it's easy access. And once you have it downloaded and extracted, it's going to look like this. The only thing is you're not going to have this done folder. This is stuff that I've already extracted and I put it into a folder. So once you have Rafe and you have Siege, there's also going to be a text document which I'm going to provide. So when you use Siege, it's going to set the materials because I already set it in this file. Now he does have a how-to on how to set up your own materials to a specific way that you would want them. But in case you don't want to go through that, I already made one. Works perfect. All you do is just get this text file, which is going to say GDT material, and you're going to put it right here, right next to the Siege program. All right, so let's open up a game. Right now I have Black Ops 1 Kino. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for some models. So I'm already in game. I put down the volume so it won't mess things up so you guys can hear me clearly. All right, so hit escape. Let the game be paused. What you want to do is you want to head over to Rafe, double click on the program. If this is the first time you're using it, it's going to tell you to log in or at least create an account. Now it's just putting in your name and a password, and that's it because this program is basically online. Now let's go over to the settings. Make sure you guys have the right settings. So you want to go over to General. You want to make sure that Show Xmodels from in memory. Make sure that's checked. Show X animations from in memory. Now we're not going to be using this, but leave it checked because I'm going to be doing videos later on how to add animations to models. So you want to make sure that this is already set for you so you don't have to backpace. It's cool if you have it. And over here where it says image export settings, leave it on TIFF and leave this checked where it says patch normal maps to contain a color and a blue channel. All right, so that's general. Now we're going to go over to models. Now we're going to have the top one checked, which says export images with models, meaning you want to keep the images along with the model you're exporting so it doesn't get lost in the bunch. And over here where it says model formats, there's going to be export MA. Now leave this one checked because we're going to be messing around with Maya later, so it's good to have that one checked. And this is the main one where it says export X model export. So this is basically the model itself. So make sure that this is checked, that one, and that one. And if we go over to animations, let's just get that done. Make sure that use no tracks from animations. Leave that checked. And check these two over here where it says export SE animations, export.mel. And that's pretty much it. So you can click on the X, close it out, leave the program open. Now, right now we have Black Ops 1 running and we're already in the Kino map. So what you want to do is you want to select the game you'd like to work with. So in our case, we have it set to Black Ops 1. And all you're going to do is the button right at the bottom in the middle that says load game. Click on that. And there you go. Now it loaded up all the models. So if I expand this down, these are all the models we can get from this one map, which is pretty cool. All right, now either you could export all, and it'll export all these models, so you can have everything. You know, it could build up a nice little archive of all the models from all the maps, so whenever you're doing your map making, you're gonna have everything at your disposal. But for the quickness of this tutorial, I'm just gonna do a few models. It usually takes about maybe like 2-3 minutes to do them all, but let's try to keep this short and sweet. All right, so let's look for a model. If anything, I'm gonna type in chair, and let's see all the chairs that they have in this map. There you go. Now, as you can see, under type, it's gonna say X animation. Now these are animations, but what we want is Xmodels. So you could right click and drag up, select all of those, or else you could hold shift and select a bunch. You know, there's different ways you could select it, or else you could select one and then hit export selection. Now I want all these chairs, so I'm gonna just drag up, highlight all of these, hit export selection. Just give it a few seconds. There you go. On the bottom right, it lets you know that it exported these models to the folder. Now, if you click on this part, it'll open up the folder for you. See? And it says Black Ops 1, Xmodels, and these are all the Xmodels we just exported. If you go inside of them, see this chair, P Club folding chair. Here's the Maya file, and over here's the images. Now remember, we made sure that under settings, it made it into a TIFF file for us, because this is what Black Ops 3 Mod Tools reads. It reads TIFF files. So that's already done. The only thing that's not done is the Xmodel export. For Black Ops 3 to read this, it has to be a bin file. So that's where C3ig is going to come in. And we also need a GDT for this. Now we can make a GDT with Rafe, but when you do that, you still have to set the material files. So let's say if you exported 100 models, you're going to have to set the material files for each one of those models. And it's a fucking pain in the ass. Excuse my French. But, you know, if you're going to do it with Rafe, you would click on Manage GDTs. It shows you all the models that you have under this GDT selection. And whatever game you're working with, whether it's World at War or Black Ops 3. Of course, in our case, it's Black Ops 3. So export GDT, BO3, click on that. You want to make sure that you go to your root folder. You want to make sure that you go under source data because that's where your GDTs go. And you want to name it whatever you want. So you could just call it whatever and hit save. And then that way when you open up 8, it'll show up. Now, we're not going to be using this method. So I already have those chairs exported. Let's get a few more things. Let's look for a desk. Here we go. Here's some desks. So I'll select those two, hold shift, right click it, export selection. Remember, if you want to do the whole thing, you go to export all, and it will export everything. Just make sure nothing's under search. And those models again. There you go. All right, now we already have a few models. It's the same thing as if you exported all of them or else you exported a few. All right, so close it out. Now, if you go to the root folder for the Rafe program, you're going to see a folder that's called exported files. Open that up. It's going to let you know what game these Xmodels are for, well, from. In our case, it's Black Ops 1. Open that up. You'll see an Xmodels folder. Open that up too. And here are all the models we exported. So here's the P Club folding chair. You know, there's the images like I showed you guys. There's the X model. Now, remember, there's Maya files also. So if you're using Maya, all you have to do is double click on this one right over here that says MA, and it'll open it up in Maya for you. And you can modify the model, but you're going to need plugins to export it. I also have a link for that in one of my other videos. But I'm just going to show you guys this really quick. There you go. And there's the model. Now, if it doesn't show up with any color, you go over here to render, legacy default view, viewport. There you go. And press 6. And there's the color. There's the model. There's the chair. But now this is for Maya users. We're not going to be doing this right now. But later on, I am going to come out with videos on making your own models, adding animations to certain models, like the apotheconic statue from like Shadows of Evil, and a bunch of cool other stuff. But for now, we're going to leave this like a fart in the wind. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so first things first, let's put this bad boy where it's supposed to go. Now, you can just rename this folder and call it whatever you want. In our case, let's call it Kino, because this is what models it has. Whoop, is what's using this right now? All right, we could close this game out. Now, first things first, let's open up the root folder for Black Ops 3. Open that up. Now, once you're in the root folder, go over to your model export. Go in there, and this is where your exports go. So open up the exported files, and what you can do, let me take this one out. Actually, no, let me just rename this one. Actually, no, we don't even need to rename it. Let's go into the Black Ops 1, and all you have to do is just grab the folder that says Xmodels, because that's where the Xmodels are. So we could rename this one, and let's call this Kino. There you go. Now right click it and go to copy and paste it inside of here, on an empty area inside your model export folder. There you go. There's the Kino file right here. Now, once it's already in your model exports, that's when C3ig comes in. So what you want to do is you want to open up the folder C3ig is in. Remember, you want to make sure that you have my text document that's going to set the materials for you. You just put it right next to the C3ig program, as long as it's in that folder. So highlight the Kino folder, right click it, and drag it on to the C3ig program, and then let it go. Once you let it go, it's going to say run, or it's going to start running the program, depending on your computer. So I'm going to click on run and give it a few seconds, or at least like a minute, so it could process the information and convert everything. And if I go inside the Kino folder now, you'll see that now we have a GDT that got made for us. Now, let's say if you go into the folder and you see it under 0 kilobytes, that means that it's still processing all the models. So if I go into the folder now, as you can see, now we have a bin file. And in case you had some images that weren't TIFF, it would convert it into TIFF files, which is pretty cool. So now all you have to do, right now we have a Kino GDT. So what you want to do is you want to open up Launcher. Once you open up Launcher, it's going to start searching for GDTs. It does this every time you open it. As you can see, it says processed 1 GDT. We didn't have to move anything. All we did was drag the Kino folder into the export folder, and Bob's your uncle is done. So now let's open up 8 and let's check this out. Let's see if the models got their materials set, and let's see how the models came out. See if we can see the images. There we go. And there we have it. Check that out. Oh, this is Xmodels. Let's go over to Kino K. Well, you could go over here to GDTs and type in Kino. There you go, Kino. Click on this one and bow. Look at that. Look at that model. Look at that goodness. Scroll down. There's more. And look at all of these. All these chairs. Where's the... Did we pick it up? Desk? There's the desk. Look at that. And that's it. It's pretty much done. So if you go over to Radiant, I was just making sure everything's working. And I type in the name of this one. Let's see what that's called. Let's grab that name. I'll make sure we find it. There we go. Hit M on the keyboard so it'll bring up your models window. And then make sure all is checked. And I'm gonna just paste this name in. I could type it, but I'm lazy. And give it a few seconds because it's still processing it. There you go. And bow. It's that simple. Now you got some fresh new models to work with. And the material's already set. Now, when I made that text document that you put along with the C3ig program, let me go over to Ape so I can show you what it's set under. So if you click on one of the models, this is the dust model. And you click over here where it says materials. It'll take you right to the material for that one. I put it under geometry advanced and then lit advanced. And this you can always change it. That way when you shoot it, it'll have a different sound to it. And if you scroll down, as you can see, it has all the proper information for you. That's what that text document did because it's, remember it said geometry advanced. So in here I had it set to geometry advanced. If I scroll down somewhere, let's see if I can find it. You know, this can be a little confusing. That's why I figured I'd make it for you guys. See? Material category, material type. You change this to whatever you would want it to be. And also the specular map. You can go to edit if you open it up in Notepad. Spec. And here we go. All the spec information. And you can enable whatever you want. You know, it's pretty cool. This is a great program by Make Sense. You know, go over to his page, support him, and, you know, have fun. You guys can basically get all the models from any map without any hassle. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I should be coming up with custom videos. If you guys have seen my video display inside your map, where you can actually play movies and TV shows inside your map. But in the past, we were using the default Black Ops videos. Now we're going to be able to put in our own custom videos. So you could record whatever you want and put it in game and have it as an Easter egg, which is going to be pretty cool. You know, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff I'm going to be dropping this week. So if anything, just go over to my page and subscribe. But when you subscribe, there's going to be a little bell right next to subscription. If you click on that bell, it's going to give you a notification whenever I drop a video. So, you know, like, show me some love, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. And remember, everything is going to be in the video description. Peace out.